Hello, hi, welcome. Thank you for being here today. We're going to get a little clarity for you. See what's going on when it comes to, at least in the beginning, we're going to start with love and romance and see how it flows. So this reading is timeless whenever it finds you. It's the right time. See what resonates, leave what doesn't. It could be somebody else's message. It might also make sense later. And always follow, trust, use that divine inner guidance. It's in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition, so your decisions are sound and based in love and for the highest good of everyone, so we're all uplifted in love. Let's begin. Let's see what's going on. Get a little clarity. So God, Source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest and greatest good of all. What is the current energy, status, situation that would be helpful to know about right now for the collective that's watching this reading? Woo! That somebody has magnetic attraction with you, not just for you. This is back and forth. This is somebody who is either coming in pretty soon or you are thinking about that. They are just irresistible. The flirts happen so naturally. I mean, it could be like a kind of a lusty situation, but I don't get that that's, I get that it vibrates pretty high, that it's pretty bright. Somebody just is really into you and you're really into them too. It's definitely not unrequited feelings here. So tell us about this magnetic attraction. It's because it's your soulmate. That's why. You just have this chemistry with a certain person. It's also, for some of you, if you are on a twin flame journey, that's why there is a certain person in your life where it's written in the stars. You're just bound energetically and beautifully to one another. It might be a really difficult situation you are going through with a certain person, or maybe somebody you're going to meet. You're going to know right off the bat that there is recognition in this person's soul. There's automatically something different about this person. You can't even understand what it is or understand what it is, but you're into it. You're into them. I don't think that has ever been questioned. Whether this is somebody new coming in and that's your new journey, you're never going to question the chemistry. You're also going to have such a beautiful friendship with this person. It's almost like you can finish each other's sentences, even if this person is really different. You have the same humor or you just get each other. You recognize there's a soul contract that you have with a certain person that you're just destined to meet. You've had past lives together. And if you're meeting in this life, there's a reason you are meeting each other in this life. It could be to heal each other, grow together. I keep hearing a purpose. There's a purpose. There's a bigger purpose. I'm also getting that you are very protected together. So let's see. What else? What else would be helpful to know? Maybe let's ask maybe what you don't see. What does the collective not see right now? What is something that is hidden? And we'll get a little peekaroo. What is hidden? That this is new. That you don't see somebody new coming in your life. Honeymoon phase, childlike. Childlike energy is laughing, rolling around on the floor together, giggling, playing footsies under the table, you know, where you get those butterflies. It's not childish. So I am getting for some of you, if you are, for some of you, reconnecting to somebody that you already know, you had this chemistry, friendship, bond, you know, thing with, but there was a separation. It might be not known to you, but you're getting a little hint here that there is somebody coming back and they're a little more mature than they were when you were together before. This is somebody who went away and had some healing. I hear self-reflection, self-introspection. This is whoever it is, somebody feeling like a really fresh energy just entered into your life. I kind of feel like it came through, or it came back out of nowhere. It's a new beginning. It's where you feel better. You feel like you're moving on, like something's growing. And this is something where you see progression now. If any of you have had an in and out, or a connect and disconnect, and yet there was that thing that never really went away, you always, like magnets come back together, this time is not going to be the same as whatever was all over the place in and out before. There's something about this time being different. So if it starts to feel like a repeat pattern, if this is for the group of you that is reconnecting, I do feel like if there's a repeat pattern, there's something different in you now where you're not going to repeat a pattern. You're not going to do it that same way. And this might be you actually letting that person go, or finally getting some closure, or maybe even setting up some ground rules, having some boundaries and following through with it. And that could be what creates the change in the dynamic. For some of you, I feel like it's letting that go and creating the space so that a totally new energy can come in. And I feel like you're going to recognize it in your soul, no doubts in your mind. I do feel like there is a connection between your minds and your hearts, but also your mind and your heart. If there was like a disconnect or a block, that block is breaking down completely here. That's really nice. Let's go to something totally different. Just to balance, balance is good. On soulmate, new love, and magnetic attraction. Also, when relationships are involved, these are other people who have their own lives, their own personality, their own growth, their own cycles, their own perception, and their own free will. So even if you felt like, for some of you, there was this amazing connection you probably both felt, but somebody made the conscious choice to cross a boundary or go in a different direction, I do feel like the universe is making it up to you and bringing someone really, really special into your life. Maybe it's a different dynamic, but I feel like you're not going to be disappointed. There's something about you letting go and having to open up a box. If you were keeping anything kind of contained in a box, have the openness that God and the universe knows better than you. Even if you know what you like and you know what you don't like, I do feel like there's something really, I keep hearing fresh. Maybe this person's a little fresh, we'll get a little fresh with you, but in a sassy kind of way. Let's see. Clarify, new love, soulmate, and magnetic attraction. What would be helpful to know? Please and thank you. Ooh, that flew. Usually these cards don't fly. What is this? Conclusions are within reach. Ooh, that's cool. The full moon eclipse. I think we're having an eclipse coming up, at least when I'm filming this. Something is, so if there's a conclusion, that could be a solution or a resolution. It could also be where you make a really solid decision. I feel like for some of you, this decision or this choice has a lot to do with you doing what's right for you, filling up your own cup. This energy of self-love. I feel like that's part of what's really attracting the right person in or back. Conclusions are within reach. I do feel like there was something happening behind a closed door, or something had to kind of work itself out on its own. But there's also something important about the step you were on in your journey. I feel like something... All right, so for some of you, if you are meeting somebody brand new and you feel all of this attraction, I'm kind of getting a different message for some of you. If you felt this immediate attraction, you know that is there. You felt this soul connection. really, you know, different to anybody else, like something that felt really special, and then maybe somebody went away for a little bit. I don't think that period is going to be that long. I do feel like for some of you, there might be somebody who maybe in the beginning, because of how much chemistry is going on here, that maybe they just thought it was chemistry. And I do feel like love came through pretty fast too. But I kind of feel like for some of you that may have freaked somebody out a little bit, and they needed to make sure that it wasn't just chemistry, and they, you know, they're thinking that all of that, you know, honeymoon butterfly kind of energy was actually the love. Like there's somebody who wanted to make sure that it was absolutely the love as well as the chemistry. So there's a full moon eclipse here, and it might not be around the eclipse, but if somebody kind of eclipses themselves out of your life a little bit, I feel like just stay true to you. Don't like run after somebody, allow somebody that space, because I do feel like that's going to be that deep introspection, reflection, healing. I feel like somebody's going to come back full. Also realize that they feel more full or plugged in around you, and that it is a well-rounded thing and not just in the arena of chemistry and lust. It's actually friendship. It's actually, you know, meeting of the minds. It's actually a whole beautiful dynamic of everything. But I do feel that if that's you, you know, and you are the one that needs a little space to see if, you know, before you like dive on in, make sure this is right, take that space. But I am getting that if you are the one in control of that communication, communicate. I think as long as you communicate and don't just shut that light off completely, even if you just explain, hey, you need to take a little time, you know, figure something out. I feel like that will be very helpful. And I see something progressing right. I just feel like something is getting, I actually hear brighter. But I see these trees, and they actually look like the trees in this one. There's something about something still having to blossom or the right season to come through. But I do feel like this is a situation, partnership, person deeply rooted in your soul, and also has been growing deep roots, maybe under the surface where you couldn't see, but also has potential to really have deep roots in your life. Should we get a couple of mystery messages? Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll go to the tarot. So let's get some mystery messages. What are some messages that would be helpful for the collective right now on new love, soulmate, magnetic attraction, and conclusions are within reach? That means something's right around the corner. There's also something about if somebody's in arm's length. Somebody is actually in your space where you see them eye to eye, where you can feel them physically and have their energy right there, see the expressions on their face, read their body language. There's something about coming to a conclusion, or you needing to also have a clear conversation with someone so that you can work something out together, whether that's a future situation or something's coming back so you can work something out. I'm getting it's not a phone call. There's something where you actually have to be in arm's length of a person. Probably closer, but let's see. What are some just extra messages that would be helpful today? Please and thank you. Oh, that's very specific. It is with, what did this say? Conclusions are within reach. That's a very specific message. I don't think this has ever come out in a reading. It looks like there's something coming through in a few days. Wow. Maybe something's about to take off in a couple of days. Maybe it takes a couple of days for someone to have that pause. That's not that long. A few days. Maybe a few days makes all the difference. I do feel like that has something to do with actual good quality time with a specific person. Also, maybe some of you need a little, like, just a little vacation with a certain person. It's not like too long, it's just a few days. here you are. Maybe here you are. Or here you are. I just heard, here you know. That's deep. So if you're in this rolling around on the floor and your chemistry's going, you know, and you're communicating good, be in it. Don't be half in. If you were anywhere and you're only half in, you're not in the right spot. Or you're not in the right vibration, or you're not with the right person. And if this doesn't make any sense to you, here you are. What can you do today to fill up your own cup? What can you do today that in a few days you are really happy that you planned on doing? What is a project you've always wanted to start? What is something you need to practice? What is something that really makes you feel alive, where the clock melts? I'm getting that childlike energy. What is something you do where you play? Where you just feel kind of like a giggling kid? Do that. That's also something when you do stuff. I want to see what that is. When you do stuff that makes you feel like a kid, or even stuff that you loved as a kid. Because, you know, sometimes we're kind of the same even though we grow up. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example. You know, so I used to run around in my little green, it was like a tap dancing outfit. And it had little fringe. It was like a little bathing suit, and it had all green sequins. And I can even look over in my room over here. I have like 10 sequins dresses hanging in there. And I didn't think at this age, which I won't tell you what that is. But I mean, I'm still exactly the same, you know, still have all the sequins dresses. At least I get to use it for the jazz singing, you know, so you know, and sometimes a little rock and roll. But, you know, like there's certain things that just kind of make your soul sing, you know, they make you feel like it's you. So maybe it's something like that you haven't done, and it's bringing a little bit of that sparkle back into your life. What fell? Stuck. If you feel stuck right now, then how do you unstick yourself? How do you I hear unhinge yourself from something? Or how do you start to take a step in a different direction? You know, if you feel stuck because you're waiting for someone else, don't let that person, you know, be why you are sticking around if they're not coming around. Unstick yourself. That just sounds funny. I don't know why I see Velcro. Maybe somebody else feels stuck too. Maybe that's giving you a little bit of insight on why there was an eclipse, or why there was confusion, or why, you know, there was a period where you couldn't really see what was going on because somebody felt a little stuck. But I feel like if that's somebody else, they're going to get unstuck pretty soon, maybe in a couple of days. That's when that conclusion is finally going to come through, or a decision is going to be made. I do feel like maybe somebody was stuck in an old cycle, whether that's you or someone else, and that's definitely going to, I see that the ball is rolling. Something is going to change. I actually feel like, I don't know, I looked at those trees like up close like that, and it kind of looked like a bird cage that the moon is stuck in. So maybe somebody was stuck with blocked emotions. I feel like that's being worked out. I actually see a key. So if there was like a cage situation, I feel like there's going to be something that creates an opening. I actually feel like it's an opening at just the right time. I also feel like for some of you, if you're meeting, I looked at that 1919, it's like the sun times 2. I do feel like for some of you, I'm getting 2 really different energies here. When you meet somebody that's new in your life, or when this new energy of the person you know comes back in. I also feel like for some of you with that childlike thing, this is not the person that like annoys you and you don't want to come back in your life. For some of you, this is somebody you really haven't seen maybe since you were a kid. Like a long time has gone by. But I feel like either somebody has some cheeky opening lines, You know, like the way that they like come through or open is kind of like either really unusual or that you actually in the beginning make somebody a little nervous. And I'm getting that they get a little stumbly with their words. Maybe it's not even like the smoothest line that they open, but yet there's something kind of smooth about their energy. I just thought of the Rob Thomas song. It's a great song. I like that came through. That song just makes me happy. All right, so let's see. What is another message? Well, we know that. You have 3 days. Ooh, that was very specific. You have a few days. Maybe it's 3 days right now. All right, guys, here you are. Here you are. So what do you need to do? You might have some company coming on over. Maybe you need to clean your house. Maybe this is looking up some cool places in your town or your city that you always wanted to go to, and you said, no, I'm too busy, and you're always stuck at home, or I'm stuck doing that thing. No, you're not. What can you do? What do you get to do? Because you have a couple of days, or you have a little time right now to prepare. If you're holding on to anything and you don't have that space, then you need to let go of something and create that space. This could also be, you know, I saw that something happening behind a closed door. Maybe somebody needed some time to prepare. I hear refocus. Refocus on where they were focused on before. Maybe you're the one that comes in and refocuses somebody's life. You got a little time right now to prepare. So that's the biggest thing that you're getting from this reading. Time to prepare. So if you were getting stuck in your own head that something's never going to come in, yeah, it is. This is going to come in. Something, even if this is just an amazing friend that you love, or a thing that you are magnetically attracted to that you get to do. Start there. Start there and see how it starts to manifest different things in your life. Open up new opportunities, bring new energies, bring new people, bring new situations. I like that came through. You're getting some interesting cards that haven't ever come out in a reading. So let's get you another one. What is another one? Yeah, you do. You got this. You got this. You can do it. I do feel like there is, I hear both something and someone meant for you, tailor-made for you. Very much, I get that, almost even protected for you. And I am seeing that somebody is protective over you, or you are protective over someone else, or will be. If some of you are not stepping up to bat on something you've always wanted to do, you got this. I get that. Even if like, don't be afraid to fall down. If you fall big, you know, because you're going to learn a lot. But I do feel like there's something about somebody dusting themselves off and trying it again, or trying it different. Oh, I like these messages today for you guys. I'm really excited to be here to get to do this reading for you. I feel like you're going to have some really amazing experiences. But if you're just sitting in the house or not believing that you are meant to have them, you're getting yourself stuck. I'm getting that that's the second biggest message. You have to unstick yourself. I'm also getting that with whatever this dynamic is, even though you might want to be around their energy all of the time, there's something really important for you to know about still having your own thing going on. You know, not totally revising all your plans because this amazing person is in your life. There's something where either you or them or both of you are pretty busy. You might have to move some mountains, or, you know, adjust something in the old schedule to make some room for one another. But I feel like this person is really proud of what you are doing or what you're accomplishing. You're actually more attractive because you have your own thing going on. I'm also getting that you're more attractive because you have your own boundaries. You stick with something, you follow through. And I don't know. I see somebody really into you, really into like who you are. Here, owning it. Maybe you and this person are eventually going to own something. I could be owning a business, owning a home, property, owning it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I do see a business. So maybe some of you are like gonna meet someone. It's almost like a power couple. That is not everybody can be in business with the person they are, you know, in love land with. But if that's your particular situation and you can really work well with a person and you got a friendship and you have attraction that just kind of never goes away, it's always there, I feel like you're going to be very successful. So let's continue. I feel like we should do the tarot. I'm going to do a different one than I originally thought. Actually, I see this here. Let's get you one of these. Let's get you a love angel message, just to get a little extra message when it comes to love and romance. What is some helpful insight or something to know about when it comes to this new situation, or what you were releasing, or even wisdom gained from what you've gone through? What would be helpful for the collective to know? Please and thank you. And then I think I'm going to use the art of, ooh, that went back, so I'm not going to take it. If it needs to come out again, it will. What is some valuable insight for the collective watching this particular reading? Please and thank you. Balance. I like that. There needs to be a healthy balance of, that's sort of what I saw before, where somebody may have thought it was all the attraction. And I feel like it is a lot deeper. Whatever I said before was all well-rounded thing. There needs to be a healthy balance of physical, emotional, and spiritual intimacy for a relationship to be sustainable. So this new love divinely brought into your life has got it all. It's a spiritual connection. It's emotional, which is that love stuff, the emotions you feel, and it's also, it's also sassy. You got it all. Hey, I'm excited. I'm kind of excited for you. Balance. Yeah, nice. I kind of feel like we should pull in one more, so let's do it. What is one more? One more message, extra message, bonus. What is a bonus message? I also flipped back upside down, so maybe this is something that is hidden. Let's see what it is. Of course, divine timing comes through. So, I mean, you did get a little peekaroo here. There's something, at least something that's going to get you in the right direction, take you to a crossroad, start to, help this manifestation to come into your life that is in a few days. But maybe it's just meeting, I don't know. I actually feel like some of you might join a group, become friends with someone, and down the line you end up meeting the right person, but it might not be that person that you meet in a couple of days. But there's something about a few days that's going to get you on the right path. I actually see you jumping timelines, jumping to a different branch. I actually see a tree, and I see like you getting to the end of the tree and almost like going to another tree, Tarzan style, except you just jump or fly. So there is something about freedom. Divine timing, which means it's happening in the best time, so the right thing comes in at the right vibration, so it works. I'm getting that. So this is different. So if in this divine timing, you have some time for you, what are you doing in your beautiful time that you are gifted? If this divine timing is bringing someone else into your world that you whole soully connect to, are you in it? Are you making space for it? Be patient while things are unfolding, because this connection is worth the wait. Well, that's good to know. Like, here you are, time to get ready. What do you need to do to start getting ready for this? Because the universe and God wants to bring it in. So you have to be open to receive. All right, so let's go to the tarot. I want to do the Art of Life. This one's a little bit different. I just want to maybe start with one from this and then maybe go to a different tarot deck. But I like that these have quotes. I don't know. I have hundreds of decks of cards. Hundreds. I really do. And this, I always kind of go back to this one. I just really do like this deck of cards. And it's kind of different too, because the typical meanings don't really come through, which sometimes annoys me when I get a deck and its image doesn't really relate to anything that the card typically means. But this one I like. So what is one beautiful Art of Life message, overall foundational thing to know about right now for the collective watching this, please and thank you? What is, I want to ask, like, currently. So when you're watching this, what is this? Here you are. Let's ask this. What's the here you are energy right now to know about? The Ten of Cups and the Knight of Swords. So if something was stalled, I said something before about having a focus or a redirection of focus. This is somebody who's redirecting their focus. This is somebody who absolutely know that they want to go towards that Ten of Cups. Whether they know that you're on the other side of that barn door or not, they just know a certain direction. It has to be that direction because it's not the other one. This is somebody who's really smart. This Knight of Swords energy is somebody very ballsy, male or female. They really think outside the box generally, unless they get stuck in their head. If they get stuck in their head, then their direction is taking them the wrong way, and that just confuses them more. You know, that's where somebody stays on the fence way too long, and they have this capacity to really move fast, but that's not their nature to not keep going. This is definitely not somebody who wants to be caged in. The Knight of Swords wants expansion in their mind. They want, they want really stimulating conversation. They want to ask more questions. They want something to unfold. They want something to be deep. They're not satisfied if it's shallow and boring. And if the Knight of Swords has had those blinders on for too long and is not looking at the bigger picture of what's going on over there, they're missing out on a lot. So generally an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, it doesn't have to be, it's just an airy energy. It is somebody asking a lot of questions, or they're going to, or they're making a lot of plans. But all of those questions, those plans, those ideas and thoughts, imagination, because it's not just all logical, it's also very creative, are bringing them towards new dreams, new expansion, to know how to be in an experience, because it's a night. So that's about the experience. That's being on the horse and being on that journey, not sitting back and thinking about the journey. Sitting even on the throne. It's like, I'm going to get off the throne. I want to be in that experience. And this is where the clock kind of melts away. This is somebody who moves very fast once they know the direction. This is also somebody who recognizes when they're going in the wrong direction, they turn on a dime and they go another way. This is somebody pretty daring. And it looks like the direction is towards the Ten of Cups. It's ultimate happiness. It's total fulfillment of the heart. It's being around people you vibe with. It's even going in the direction of where you just generally have that beautiful vibration, and people that you vibe with are magnetically attracted into your life. Friends, not just lovers. Family. It's your chosen family. It's your soul tribe. It's who you choose to put your energy around because you feel better around them. It's being grateful for everyone, though. It says, let us be grateful to people who make us happy. They are the charming gardeners who make our souls blossom. That's where somebody literally is going to blossom, bloom, open up. But if there was anyone who you felt drained by or closed up because of, you still have to have gratitude towards that, because you learn more about yourself. You learned what wasn't right for you. You learned, what's not healthy for you. You learned about your boundaries. You learned how strong you are. So even those weird cycles or those weird relationships or people, you gained something from when you were there. But it's your perception upon it. So there could be an energy where there's a release. It's a 10. Sometimes this is where you actually, whatever I said before, where it's going to be better than you thought. It's where there's a gateway. There's an open doorway here. But there's one of my cards. It says, pluck the thorns and smell the roses. So there's, I don't know why I just thought of that now. Sometimes the happily ever after doesn't work out. Sometimes with this 10 of Cups energy, it's somebody really living in fantasy and not the reality of an experience. But when it's the combination of the two, and it's that something feels both like a fairy tale, and maybe the too good to be true actually is better because it's real. Like the hard days, the good days, the ups and the downs, with the right people or person. All of that is still beautiful. It's getting through something together, wanting to be there for all of it. This is to dare, is to lose one's footing momentarily, but not to dare, not to ever step up to bat, not to ever get, on the stage in the spotlight, not to ever ask that person out or give something a try or go on another date. Not to dare is to lose oneself. And that feels like a lot to lose. So there's something about somebody getting on the horse and being a little daring, doing something a little different, maybe getting outside the uncomfortable zone, seeing what it could possibly be. I guess we're going to use this because I grabbed it. Sometimes my hands just grab something. And I don't really know what decks I'm going to use, or I think I'm going to use another deck, and that doesn't happen. So let's clarify these two. Let's just see what extra message needs to come through on the 10 of Cups, the Knight of Swords. It's also like sometimes you can have a beautiful chapter in your life with somebody you were meant to meet, and that was a soulmate. The twin flame's a little different. The soulmate, we can have many, and they're beautiful partnerships. And there's also a soul contract with that person to be in your life for a certain period, because at, that time in your life, that is what you needed to gain the lessons you were going through and have the right dynamic with someone else to get you towards a possible new cycle for your future. It doesn't make that person or that situation any less important just because you have grown out of a certain cycle or out of a certain partnership. Sometimes people grow together, and sometimes people grow apart. Clarify. Soulmate. Conclusion within reach. Here you are. New love, a few days. Time to prepare. Time. Ooh, divine timing. Balance. And the Knight of Swords. What flew? 6 of Coins. The Hermit. 6 of Cups. Maybe 6, 6, 6, 6, 9, 9, 6. Is important. You have the 6 of Cups. So whatever I said before with that childlike energy, that's that. Sometimes this is somebody reminiscing about the past, getting stuck in the past and not being in the here and now that you get to have to make a current memory that you get to think about a little bit in the future or in a couple days. Sometimes the Six of Cups is your soulmate, because there's that soul connection. When you meet that person, there's that knowing, like, how do I know you? How do I know you? Have we met? Have I dreamt about you? You know, it's just that knowingness within someone. It's also where you play together. That's whatever I said before, where you play like a kid. That's also a very good little tip that just keeps you young. If you do what you love that makes you feel like a kid, that energy is like youthfulness. It keeps you young. I really believe that. You know, it's when people just stop playing and they get all serious in their life and do that they like kind of lose something. So there's a lot of wisdom being able to play. This is cherished memories. So it could be you in memory land, but come back to the now land. It could also be where you are connecting to your children, or you are connecting to someone that has children. You could be blending families together. I feel like if there's children involved, there's still that playful energy. And I feel like that's somebody both responsible and fun. That's kind of nice. Like, it's like a nice, well-rounded connection. Upside down is just lost in the past. You get lost back there because you have a bright, beautiful future ahead of you. It does look like, oh, it's the same message. It looks like whatever's in your future or whatever you have gone through in the past helped you get back into balance, or you helped someone else get back into balance. For some of you, that was what you did. That was that was a soul contract that you had with someone, where maybe in some form in your life, whatever that is, as a personal reflection or maybe shadow work that you needed, it was to help you find your balance. I just saw a quote. I'm not going to get it right. It said something like, sometimes you are put into somebody's, oh, it's giving me the goosies. Look at my hair standing up. Stay straight up. I hope I get the quote right. It's like, sometimes you are in somebody's life to show them what unconditional love is. And sometimes somebody is brought into your life so you learn what self-love is. So even if this is not a reconnection from someone, maybe you gifted each other something really beautiful. So wherever you each go, both of you have the chance now to be more in balance with a new love. Because Six of Coins is now, where something's not just in emotions or in thoughts. Now something is grounded in reality with the coins. This is where there is equal give and take with energy, but it has to do with people, places, things. It's where you have to be open if somebody has a gift for you or some help for you. If you're closed off, you know, if somebody is there and they can help. Sometimes you have to, I'm getting like somebody who's a little bit prideful, but not in like a bad way. They just kind of want to always prefer to do it on their own, but we don't always have to do everything on our own. Sometimes it's okay to say, yes, I need a little help with this. Can't quite handle it on my own. But I am getting that it's also releasing energies where if you were the over giver or you just really loved, but somebody wasn't really knowing how to handle that love, or that was just too much, you had to learn that self-love. Doesn't mean you stopped unconditionally loving, but you can do it from afar. But it's recognizing the right people, that there's an equal back and forth, give and take. You know, a little this, a little that, a little more from one person one day, a little less that somebody else can give, but it kind of comes back around. So it always sort of comes back into balance. Doesn't mean it's always perfectly balanced. That's how it is. We're always perfect. You give that and I give that, and that's how it works. Like, no, we're all over the place every single day with our emotions, with what's going on in our lives. But it's that you can always come back to center. That's what's important. I'm getting that it has to do with communication. And it's generous giving, or what does it say? Unbalanced taking. Looking for the handout, looking for someone to do it for you. You know, that's somebody who just always wants to get, but they don't really give back. And if somebody is always trying to give, but they're not getting something back, you need to give back to yourself. Or that's what somebody learned. What was the other card that came out on the Hermit? That's that self-reflection. Whatever I said before, maybe it's a Virgo energy. That's somebody, oh, she's so sassy, and I love that she's sitting there naked on the chair with a flashlight. But she's in the warmth of the sun. There's a window of open opportunity there. But it looks like the light's coming this way. So there is a door you don't see. There was somebody in the dark that learned to turn the light on. There is somebody that needed to be by themselves to gain some wisdom. There's something here about somebody having to go outside of an environment or influences to really hear their, like, the truth of their heart, to really get down to the nitty-gritty, you know, bones of a situation. The birthday suit of vulnerability and strength. And this is where somebody had to turn that guidance on inside of themselves to see the writing on the wall, to recognize where they could have been overgiving or what opportunities they weren't allowing in. This is also somebody that I feel like the Hermit has to do that tough lesson thing. If somebody's always using the Hermit's flashlight and wearing the batteries out, then sometimes the Hermit has to get up, leave that environment, go somewhere else, leave someone on their own so they figure out how they can get their own flashlight and how often they have to replace those batteries and how they maybe even took advantage of that Hermit's light. The Hermit has to be a little tough ass sometimes, but it's worth it to see that they know with the wisdom in their soul that somebody had potential to grow. Maybe that was that eclipse. Maybe that was even divine intervention or a divine situation. A soul contract can also be where there's separation or distance or, you know, a big lesson that had to be learned on your own because it wouldn't really be learned or heard any other way. Soul searching. I just heard soul sister. Hey, soul sister, ain't that Mr. on the radio, stereo, the way you move ain't fair, you know. Hey, soul sister, I don't want to miss another thing you do. Huh. Oh, usually the Hermit is a Virgo, but it's that Virgo-like energy. Someone is good on their own. If they're upside down, they're just on their own too long. So long that they have all that wisdom or that knowledge they gain or the projects they work on, the thing that they do and they never share it. Eventually, you do have to be in that Six of Coins and share. But you have to keep that wisdom to see whom you're sharing your energy, your time with, and where it feels vibrantly bright and where it does not. So let's get you one more. Where's the universe? Here. Let's get you a message from the universe to end this reading. I hope it was helpful for you. I appreciate you being here with me today. Every day, I just feel so blessed. I feel so blessed to get to be here and connect with you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's get you a message from the universe. Cool. It's a chapter, yeah. All right, so here we go. Ending message is a chapter in your life is coming to an end. 'Tis life. Rest assured. Ooh, you also have some time to prepare. Maybe you need a little bit of rest. Rest assured that beautiful things are ahead in the next chapter. Let go of all things that are out of your control and move forward. There are more beautiful things ahead than any you've left behind. That was the same message that I saw before. Even though you have a good imagination or you know, you do have, where's your reminiscing? You do have that 6 of Cups, you know, those could be really beautiful memories. You know, you'll never get that again, or somebody won't be as good as that last person, or how am I going to ever do this? I'm not sure if it'll work out. You know, it's a little nervous to step up to bat on something new. You have amazing things that are being prepared for you right now by the universe to come in, but you got to work your way towards it. I feel like you're going to be so surprised and you're going to feel so blessed. There are more beautiful things ahead of you than the things that you're holding on to. So here you are. You got some time to prepare and get excited. I love you and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.